Namo Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for joining today. We'd like to seek the blessings of Radha Madhava, Radha Shyamsundar, Krishna Balaram, Gaurita, Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees, so that we can continue with looking at these great personalities who govern our universe. So we've looked at Lord Brahma, Shiva, Durga Mataji, Ganesh, Indra, Suryadev, Chandradev, Agnidev, Yamraj, and yesterday we looked at the glorious Saraswati Devi. And today we wanted to look at the treasurer of the demigods, Kuvera. He's the god of wealth, treasurer of the heavenly planets. Actually, not just of the heavenly planets, treasurer of the universe, and is the richest of all the demigods. He's also called the lord of the yakshas, and that's a pretty broad class of spirits, usually benevolent, sometimes mischievous, capricious, connected with water, fertility, trees, the forest, treasury, wilderness. And there's also the lord of the Guyakas, Kinnaras, Gandharvas. So he's got quite a remit, quite a following, because of course he's rich. He is the guardian of travelers, giver of wealth to individuals who please him. Kuvera is often depicted with a plump body, adorned with jewels and carrying a money pot and a club. He's one of the 8 devatas who are in charge of different directions of the universe. He's in charge of the northern part of the universe. In the Puranas, Kuvera is described as the grandson of Pulatsya. Pulatsya Rishi is one of the rishis that we looked at as part of the Sapta Rishis, 7 rishis, 7 great sages. He's son of Vishrav and his wife Ilavida, or Ilavalila, Devnanini, daughter of the sage Bharadvraj or Trinabindu. Vishwarav had 2 wives. The first wife was Idavida, from whom Kuvera, the master of all the yakshas, was born. And another wife was named Kesini, from whom 3 sons were born: Ravan, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishan. So Ravan and Kuvera were like stepbrothers. The scriptures describe that Kuvera once ruled Lanka. So Lanka is a very opulent place. Kuvera was ruling it. Ravan, however, after acquiring a boon from Brahma, drove Kuvera away from Lanka. So he took it over. That's why he's so rich. Ravan himself, because he took over his brother's, his stepbrother's kingdom. The Rakshasas also serve Kuvera. However, some cannibalistic Rakshasas are described to have sided with Ravan in the battle against Kuvera. So this battle over Lanka was quite a ferocious battle. Ravan seized Kuvera's Pushpa Viman, the aeroplane, these subtle aeroplanes, which was returned to Kuvera after Ravan's death. As Lanka could not be restored to Kuvera, then he settled on Gandhamandana mountain near Mount Kailash, the abode of Lord Shiva in the Himalayas. And Vishwakarma built him a place on Alakapuri, which cannot be seen from Kailash. So extraordinary place. Vishwakarma is the architect of the demigods. His city is usually called Alakapuri, but also Prabha, which means splendor, Vasudhar, bejeweled, or Vasustali, abode of treasuries. And there, in the city, Kuvera has a garden called Chaitra Ratha, where the leaves are jewels and the fruits are girls of heaven. There is also a charming lake called Nalini in the grove. A description of Kuvera's magnificent court appears in the Mahabharata. There, Gandharvas and Apsaras entertain Kuvera. Lord Shiva and his wife Parvati often frequent Kuvera's court, which is attended by semi-divine beings like the Vidyadharas or the Kimpurushas, Rakshasas, Pisachas, as well as Padma and Shankha, who are the personified treasuries, Nidhi, and Mani Bhadra, Kuvera's chief attendant and chief of his army. So Kuvera is very popular, very, very popular. Alaka is recorded to be plundered by Ravan once. So Ravan had it in for Kuvera. And it was attacked by the Pandav prince Bhim once. Kuvera Nairatha army is described to have defeated King Muchukund, who then defeated them by the advice of his guru Vashishta. Sukracharya, the guru of the Asura, is also recorded to have defeated Kuvera and stolen his wealth. Another major tale or pastime in the scriptures records how Kuvera entertained the sage Ashtavakra in his palace. Kuvera is often described as a devotee of Lord Shiva. That's why his city is near Kailash. The Padma Puran says that Kuvera prayed to Shiva for many years and Shiva granted him the kingship of the Yakshas. The Puranas in the Mahabharata record that Kuvera married Bhadra, which means auspicious, or Koberi, wife of Kuvera, daughter of the demon Mura. She is also called Yakshi, a female Yaksha, and Charvi, which means splendor. They had 3 sons, Nalakuver, Manigri, or Varnakavi. All these meanings have names. So Nalakuver means reed and excel. Manigri means bejeweled neck. And Varna Kavi means colorful poet. And they had another son, Mayuraj, means king of animals, as resembling men. And they also had a daughter called Minakshi, fish-eyed. His consort is also Kuverni. Kuvera is also known by the names Kuber and Yaksheshwar. Kuvera, surrounded by beautiful women and praised by the Siddhas, enjoys pastimes in the pleasure valleys of Mount Meru, which are rendered all the more beautiful by cool, fragrant, gentle breezes that simulate passion. He's got different names. He's known as the son of Vaishrava, which is like Vaishravana. He's also known as the son of Ailavila. Once Kuvera looked at Lord Shiva and his wife Parvati with jealousy. So he lost one of his eyes. Parvati also turned this deformed eye yellow. So Kuvera gained the name Ekakshi Pingala, one who has one yellow eye. He's also known as Bhutesha, Lord of the Spirits, like Lord Shiva. Kuvera usually is drawn by spirits or men, Nara, so is called Nara Vahana, one whose Vahana, mount, is Nara. So he rides on a man. It's interesting. Kuvera also enjoys the title king, as follows: King of Kings, Raj, Lord of Wealth, Dhanadipati, Giver of Wealth, Dhanada. His titles are sometimes related to his subjects: King of the Yakshas, Yaksharajan, Lord of the Rakshasas, Rakshash Dipati, Lord of Guyaka Dipa, King of Kinnaras, Kinnaraj, King of animals resembling men, Mayuraj, King of men, Nararaj. Kuvera is also called Guyadvip, Lord of the Hidden. The Atharved calls him God of Hiding. In the Vishnu Dhar Mottara Puran, Kuvera is described as the embodiment of both Artha, which means wealth or prosperity, glory, and Artha Shastra, the scriptures, the treatises relating to it. Kuvera is described as follows. Complexion is that of a lotus leaves. He rides a man, is adorned in golden clothes and ornaments symbolizing his wealth. His left eye is yellow. He wears an armor and a necklace down to his large belly. His face is said to be inclined to the left. He sports a beard and a mustache. And he has two small tusks protruding from the ends of his mouth, representing his powers to punish and bestow favors. So there you go. Kuvera, he's riding on a man. His wife, representing the journey of life, is seated on his lap, left lap, with his left hand on the back of Kuvera, with her left hand on the back of Kuvera, and the right holding a Ratnapatra, jewel pot. Kuvera should be four-armed, holding a Gada, Shakti in his left pair, and standards bearing a lion representing Artha, and Shibika, a club, which is the weapon of Kuvera. The Nidhi treasurers, Padma and Shankar, stand beside him in human form with their heads emerging from a lotus and a conch respectively. So that seems quite a reasonably accurate picture. Painting. The Puranas and epics, Mahabharata and Ramayana, state that Brahma conferred as a reward for his severe penance upon Kuvera the riches of the world, Nidhis, equality with gods, and Pushpak Viman, a flying chariot, friendship with Shiva, status as world protector and son called Kuvera and Nalakuvera, and the lordship of the Neta demons. So Nal, Kuvera, and Managriva, we are very familiar with them because of the pastimes with Lord Damodar. They were the sons of Kuvera. The Puranas and the Mahabharata record that Kuvera married Bhadra, which means auspicious. Oh, actually, we've probably gone through that. Yeah, we've gone through this already. Kuvera also rides the elephant called Sarvabhauma as Lokapala. So his worship. As the treasurer of the riches of the world, Kuvera is sometimes worshipped. It is said that Kuvera also credited money to the Venkateshwar, a form of Vishnu, for his marriage with Padmavati. In remembrance of this, one of the reasons devotees go to Tirupati to donate money in Venkateshwara's hundi is so that Venkateshwar can pay it back to Kuvera. So that's a nice little leela. While Kuvera still enjoys prayers as the god of wealth, his role is largely taken by the god of wisdom, fortune, and obstacle remover, who is Ganesh, with whom he is generally associated. So Ganesh and Kuvera are quite close together. Ganesh is, of course, the lord of auspiciousness. Kuvera is the lord of wealth. Sometimes wealth and auspiciousness is taken together, but actually they're separate. So scriptural references in the Bhagavad Gita 10:23, Krishna says, of all Rudras I am Shiva, of the Yakshas and the Rakshasas I am the Lord of wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus I am fire, Agni, and of mountains I am Meru. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says the leader of the Yakshas and Rakshasas is Kuvera, the master treasurer of the demigods, and he is a representation of the Supreme Lord. In the purport in chapter 17:28 of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada states, in the conditional state, people are attracted to worshipping demigods, ghosts of yakshas, like Kuvera. So he's interesting, Prabhupada saying this. We've done that. In the Bhagavatam, there's a few references as follows. In the purport to Canto 1, Chapter 12, Text 21, Prabhupada says, Lord Shiva also wanted to try the strength of Arjun, and in the form of an aborigine, Lord Shiva met him. There was a great fight between the two, and at last Lord Shiva was satisfied with him and disclosed his identity. Arjun prayed to the Lord in all humbleness, and the Lord, being pleased with him, presented him the Pashupata weapon. He acquired many important weapons from different demigods. He received Danda Astra from Yamraj, Pashup Astra from Varun, and Antardhana Astra from Kuvera, the treasurer of the heavenly kingdom. In the translation to 3:23:39 in Bhagavatam, in that aerial mansion, he traveled to the pleasure valleys of Mount Meru, which were rendered all the more beautiful by cool, gentle, fragrant breezes that simulated passion. In these valleys, the treasure of the gods, devatas, Kuvera, surrounded by beautiful women and praised by siddhas, generally enjoy. So the mood of Kuvera and his associates is that of enjoyment. That's because they got so much wealth, so much opulence is surrounding them. And this pastime, I think, must relate to Devahuti and Kadamuni in the third canto, because they traveled as well. After Kadamuni performed great austerities, he took his wife, Kadamuni and Devahuti around in a aerial mansion. Oops, what all the place today. Oh yes, there is. Kadamuni, also surrounded by beautiful damsels, and his wife went there and enjoyed for many, many years. In the purport, Kuvera is one of the 8 demigods who are in charge of different directions of the universe, and that's the northern part of the universe he's in charge of. In 4.634, Prabhupada just translates, Lord Shiva sat there surrounded by saintly persons like Kuvera, the master of the Guhu Yakas, and the 4 Kumaras, who were already liberated souls. Lord Shiva was grave and saintly. And in this purport, Prabhupada says, Kuvera, the treasure of the demigods, is fabulously rich. Thus, Lord Shiva's association with the Kumaras and Kuvera indicates that he has all the transcendental and material opulences. So although Kuvera is extraordinarily rich and he lives in very opulent circumstances, Lord Shiva has completely different mood. He lives in total poverty, hardly anything with him. But he's the boss, he's the master of Kuvera. Kuvera worships Shiva. So we can see what is important. Is it wealth? Opulence? Yes, Bhavin.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji
Hare
and
Krishna.
Mataji, all the devotees. Just one, it's not a question, it's just that you said about this. Kuvera purport. Kuvera is one of the 8 demigods who are in the charge of different direction of the universe. Is that mean that he is charge of whole of the world or only in Bharat?
Not in, I mean, generally not on earth.
When you say universe, does it mean the world?
Yes, it means beyond this earth. Beyond the earth. So
Beyond.
Like heavenly planets, the, what they call that? Swarglok. Swarglok.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not in this world, is it?
Not necessarily in this world. No.
Okay.
Not
That's fine. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for asking.
Yes, thank you. I mean, you're reading what I'm listening, and I said I must ask this.
Yeah, no,
thank you
so much. Thank you.
So it's outside, like Swarglok and every other locks.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Thank you.
So actually, Kuvera is the qualitative incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, his position is very exalted. So interesting. Even though he's surrounded by wealth, he's regarded as a great personality because actually he's connected to the Supreme Lord in a special way. 4:11:24 Bhagavatam. My dear son, those yakshas who are descendants of Kuvera are not actually the killers of your brother. The birth and death of every living entity are caused by the Supreme, who is certainly the cause of all causes. So this is a situation where Dhruv Maharaj, who's a great devotee of the Lord, lost his brother and stepmother. They were killed by yakshas. And at that time, Dhruv Maharaj decided to destroy the yakshas. And he was very powerful, so he could do it. And at that time, I think it was Lord Brahma who came and pacified him, saying, don't do this. This is mass killing. Who you're killing are not responsible for the death of your brother. So stop this. And Dhruv Maharaj was such a great devotee. He listened. He said, yeah, okay, I will stop. Translation to 4:11:33 by Prabhupada. My dear Dhruv, you thought that the yakshas killed your brother. Oh, sorry, this is a translation. And therefore, you have killed great numbers of them. But by this action, you have agitated the mind of Lord Shiva's brother, Kuvera, who is a treasurer of the demigods. Please note that your actions have been very disrespectful to Kuvera and to Lord Shiva. For this reason, my son, you should immediately pacify Kuvera with gentle words and prayers, and thus his wrath may not affect your family. In the purport, Prabhupada says, in our common dealings, we should maintain friendship with everyone, and certainly with such exalted devotees as Kuvera. Our behavior should be such that no one should become angry and thereby commit a wrong to individuals, families, or society. Very instructive message here by Srila Prabhupada, and how it relates to Kuvera. Translation of 4:12:1. The great sage Maitreya said, my dear Vidur, Dhruv Maharaj's anger subsided, and he completely ceased killing yakshas. When Kuvera, the most blessed master of the treasury, learned this news, he appeared before Dhruv. While being worshipped by the yakshas, kinnaras, and charanas, he spoke to Dhruv Maharaj, who stood before him with folded hands. The master of the treasury, Kuvera, said, "O sinless son of a Kshatriya, I'm very glad to know that under the instruction of your grandfather," that's Lord Brahma, was that Brahma? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Or is it a great grandfather? Anyway, you have given up your enmity, although it is very difficult to avoid. I am very pleased with you. So this is Dhruv Maharaj pacifying Kuvera. And then in 1817, in the translation, when Vaman Dev had thus been given the sacred thread, Kuvera, king of the Yakshas, gave him a pot for begging alms. And Mother Bhagavati, the wife of Lord Shiva and most chaste mother of the entire universe, gave him his first alms. So this is when Vaman Dev first appears to Aditi and Kashyap Muni before going to Maharaj Bali to beg for 3 steps of land. So it's a bit more. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 20 to 22. So this is the pastimes of the sons of Kuvera. These 2 young men, Nala Kuvera, Manigriva, are by fortune the sons of the great demigod Kuvera. But because of false prestige and madness after drinking liquor, they are so fallen that they are naked, but cannot understand that they are naked. Therefore, because they are living like trees, for trees are naked but not conscious, these 2 young men should receive the bodies of trees. That will be the proper punishment. Nevertheless, after they become trees and until they are released by my mercy, so this is Narad Muni, they will have remembrance of their past sinful activities. Moreover, by my special favor, after the expiry of 100 years by the measurement of the demigods, they will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, face to face, and thus revive their real position as devotees. So this was really amazing pastime. And continuing with that, although these 2 young men are the sons of the very rich Kuvera, I have nothing to do with them. Devashi Narad is my very dear and affectionate devotee. And therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. So this is Krishna, Krishna's kindness. He will follow the dictates of his devotees. So his devotee Narad wanted Nal Kuvera and Manigriva to meet with Krishna, even though they were crazy. And Krishna says, I had nothing to do with them, but my devotee wanted me to meet them, so I'll meet them. So devotees can really favor us. And Krishna will never deny his devotee. And devotees are never tempted by Kuvera's wealth. Dhruv Maharaj was offered a benediction by the King of Kings, Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods, whose only business is to supply immense riches to persons within this materialistic world, is described as the King of Kings because unless one is blessed by Kuvera, one cannot become a king. The King of Kings personally offered Dhruv Maharaj any amount of riches, but he declined to accept them. He is described, therefore, as Mahamati, very thoughtful or highly intellectual. So that's we wanted to share on Kuvera, very interesting personality. And wanted to ask if there's any questions or any comments from this.
Wonderful class, Prabhuji. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
You have done a great job. All these researches you have done, you and Mataji, and we are just full. I myself am a full just listening.
No.
It's great pleasure, Prabhuji. Hare
I'm
Krishna.
Thank you so much. Yeah, interesting personalities.
Yes,
it's good
Prabhu.
to get to know them because then we sort of can understand a little bit better their role and how they're close to the Supreme Lord, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
No, thank you so much. Anybody else? Anything else? Yes.
Yes, I'm surprised my name came there, and I said, "Oh my
Yeah,
God!"
Prabha, I saw that.
Yeah, it said something about Al Kapuri, and then it says Prabha, and
Yes, right.
then there was a meaning for it, like
Yeah, yeah, right.
splendor.
Yeah, I
I
saw
said,
that.
"Oh my God, it's unusual." So long time ago, there was name Prabha. Oh my God.
Yeah, well
My
done.
my name was given by my father, and
Right.
the whole name is Prabhavanti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm known as Prabha, like all the family and everybody.
Yeah, I noticed that. And I was thinking of you when I read it.
Yeah, and original name is whole Prabhavanti, but they
Right.
call me Prabha. And
Okay.
in the I think in I think it was Vishwakarma Puran, we got Prabhavanti name in there. So that's how my father gave it. You know, you keep saying all the time about Vishwakarma, and he is our guru. Like,
Vishwakarma.
yeah, our guru means, you know, like we are, my father is carpenter. So that's how our,
Right, because he is Vishwakarma, who is a carpenter, who's the boss of the carpenters.
yeah, and he had all these things, all the tools of the carpenter. And it's not only Vishwakarma only for carpenter, it's even with the goldsmith, the one who does the work of pots, the one who does the work for the buildings with the iron, luar, it's called luar. Tony and the people, there is 5 of them, all the brothers he's got, and all different people. But anyway, it's all mixed up with, but still Vishwakarma is our guru, and when its birthday come, we all celebrate.
Okay, okay.
Vishwakarma Jayanti.
Right.
And I think it's in Ellora. His cave is in Ellora.
Okay.
You must have heard about it.
Right. We're going to do a session on Vishwakarma in maybe next week. So
yes, fine.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
It's nice when we hear all these different names. It's good. Thank you. Here it says, look, call Alka Puri, but also Prabha. Surprise. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can stop there. Thank you very much, Pavan. Kuvera ki jai, Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai.